Property management, how to manage federal property. Employee vetting and credentialing, how we screen employees. Hiring and onboarding, our process for hiring new employees. And information technology, managing computers and our IT systems. Some of these improvements will be immediate, others are more complicated and will take longer to implement. It's important to understand, everybody, that the efficiency review encompasses both simple common sense reforms, whose benefits will be clear very quickly, and it encompasses longer-term systemic changes that will, over time, make DHS a leaner, smarter agency, even better equipped to protect the nation. So, let's go through some of the 6 items I just described. Acquisition management. In the next 30 days, we're going to change how we buy office supplies across the department. This may sound like a small matter, but consider this. In fiscal 07, we spent $100 million on office supplies, and only 6% of those purchases were made as part of a DH-wide purchase agreement. In other words, 94% of the time, our agencies did not leverage our collective buying power to negotiate a better deal with suppliers. That is going to change because we're going to leverage our buying power, increase our usage of agreements, and we can realize a potential cost savings in the range of $35 to $52 million. Within the next 30 days, we're also going to take immediate action to save costs in other areas. We will eliminate non-mission critical travel for employees and maximize the use of conference calls and web-based trainings and meetings. We will reduce subscriptions to professional publications and newspapers to lower costs and avoid duplication. And we will eliminate the printing and distribution of all reports and documents that can be sent electronically or posted online. In the next 90 days, we'll begin procuring multi-purpose office equipment, such as combined copier, printer, fax, and scanner machines that are all in one unit. This will save space and reduce service costs. Volume discount pricing might also provide a cost savings of as much as $10 million over the next 5 years. Second category, asset management. Within the next 60 days, we will substantially improve how we track and monitor fuel usage across the department. By implementing a new electronic tracking system, we will identify opportunities to increase our alternative fuel usage, guard against waste, fraud, and abuse, and optimize how we manage our vehicle fleet. Moreover, over the next 120 days, we will begin the process of acquiring hybrid vehicles across the department for administrative use. Where hybrid vehicles aren't feasible, we will switch to alternative fuel vehicles. As a result of this change, we expect a 30% increase in fuel efficiency in large vehicles and even greater efficiency in smaller vehicles. Third category, employee vetting and credentialing. Within the next 60 days, we're going to develop a process for obtaining a preliminary security background data for candidates referred for final consideration in the hiring process. Now, as we know, every DHS employee must undergo a background check. However, too often, we have discovered these checks are conducted on people who have clear disqualifying factors that will prevent them from being hired. Nonetheless, the hiring process continues, and it wastes money, up to $5,500 per background check for a top secret clearance. And by the way, it also creates unnecessary backlogs. In the future, we are going to make it easier to identify potential disqualifying factors early on in the process. This will reduce the number of overall background checks and the time it takes to bring cleared personnel on board. Next, IT, acquisition management. Within the next 60 days, we're going to improve how we acquire new software licenses for the department's computers and IT systems. Right now, our components purchase computer software and negotiate contracts independently. Makes no sense. By using strategic sourcing, in other words, buying these licenses as one department, We expect to save over $47 million per year and $283 million over the next 6 years by focusing on a single software company's licenses. Management of real property. We are a large department. We're the third largest department in the federal government, which means we have lots of real estate and facilities, and therefore a lot of overhead and energy costs. A major priority for this administration is moving to a clean energy economy and renewable sources of energy. Over the next 120 days, we are going to identify and begin implementing energy efficiencies at our offices across the country. We're moving to a renewable energy technology, and we are moving to conserving energy. We have set a goal of savings of at least $3 million per year. Next, onboarding. Onboarding, new employees. Within the next 120 days, we will also initiate a process to improve new employee orientation and annual mandatory training. Now, to be sure, orientation and training are a critical part of maintaining and expanding professionalism within the department. But right now, there's too much duplication and not enough consistency from one agency to the next. We want to streamline this process for new employees, and for all employees, actually. To this end, we are going to consolidate our new employee orientations and our annual mandatory training modules. This will eliminate duplicate course offerings and standardize the content of our orientation and mandatory training curriculum. Now, last, beyond these initiatives, another priority for me is to create a common DHS culture, to build unity across the department. That's why you may have noticed that many of these initiatives now say we need to do things as an entire department, not component by component and a component. So today, we know that we will be assisted by having a consolidated headquarters. And the Recovery Act that the Congress just passed contains $650 million to renovate the St. E's facility. That in a few years will be our consolidated headquarters. By the way, in doing that, we anticipate we will create 33,000 jobs for the district in the District of Columbia in an area that sorely needs work and sorely needs development. So there will be a synergy between what we need, which is a consolidated headquarters, and a stimulus that creates jobs and gets money flowing through the economy. This is a win-win for everybody. But in addition to that, in our effort to create one DHS, we're also taking action to reduce unnecessary costs associated with the department's branding. Because we all have noticed that across the department we have a lot of different seals and logos. And I don't know whether you know this or not, but since it was created, the department has spent $3 million on different logo and seal design, branding. That is ending today. I'm announcing our new seal. It's our seal, our existing seal. Beginning today, we are enacting a moratorium on all external contracts for the design and production of new seals and logos. Now let me be clear, many DHS components have long histories that are linked to your seals. We're proud of this heritage and thankful for that service. But we are also stewards of taxpayer dollars, and we're not spending any more money to develop any new logos for the future. We are one DHS. And by doing that, we're going to save the taxpayers at least $3 million. No more branding contracts. And I want to just pause a moment and thank the employees, all the employees of the Department of Homeland Security, for helping us to get this far so quickly, providing ideas, suggestions. The result is, and I believe, a stronger, more efficient department for years to come.